Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Sean, and today I'm bringing you a health tip. Something I'm really passionate about, that I love, and I actually use on a daily basis, and I actually make it. We're talking about what? Kombucha. Alright? What the heck is kombucha? If you haven't heard about it, well, you're about to. It's amazing. It's a super, super powerful health drink that the Chinese actually call the immortal health elixir. And it's been around for about 2,000 years. How have you not heard about this? Well, us in the western part of the world, we don't hear about a lot of the good stuff because we got prescription drugs and we don't need anything else, right? I mean, yeah, anyways. So, kombucha. Today I'm going to show you how to make kombucha. It's super easy, super simple. If you don't want to make it, you can go and buy it at pretty much any healthy store for about $3 to $5 for a little bottle. But when I show you how to make it at home really easily, you can make about 5 gallons or more for $5. So one little bottle for $5, 5 gallons. And you can flavor it, you can do anything you want with it. It's amazing. So kombucha has tons of health benefits, which include B vitamins, enzymes, probiotics, which are good for the tummy, and 3 different acids, which provide a lot of different health benefits, such as improving digestion. Obviously, we all know probiotics helps with the digestive system. You know, yogurt, all that good stuff. The fermented foods really help. It also helps with energy levels, and that's the one I notice the most. When I'm drinking kombucha, which I drank before this video, which is why you're like, wow, this guy's a lot of energy, it's because the kombucha. It gives me a lot of energy. Next, it also helps cleanse and detox the body. We all need that, right? Because we're nasty mofos eating all this crap. So kombucha will help clean that up. It also helps with immune support and building a healthy, strong immune system. It's actually a cancer preventative. That's right, it helps prevent cancer. It helps with joint pain, helps maintain the joints. So if you have joint pain, kombucha is a great thing to drink, as well as golden milk, with which Tanya did a video on, and I'll put a link to that in there so you can check out that video if you got joint problems or inflammation problems as well. And you got it, weight loss. Kombucha helps you lose weight. Now the scientific reasons are, I have no idea. But anyways, it helps you lose weight. Look how good I look. Alright, it's the kombucha, it's gotta be. Anyways, look at all those great health benefits, and you can make it for almost nothing at home. Why wouldn't you start making it? Which is why I'm going to show you right now how to make it. You might be asking, what do you need to make kombucha? Well, we're going to show you. You barely need anything. You need organic sugar, which is actually evaporated cane sugar. You can get this at Costco for like 10 bucks for about 2,000 pounds or something like that. So really cheap. Then you need black tea. In reality, you can do it with any tea. I actually use black and green tea because I like them. But you can use pretty much any tea. But black tea gives you the most acids. The 3 acids that are formed, it gives you the highest concentrations of those. So you want to use black tea. And you notice that these are all organic. You want to use everything organic, especially tea, because there's a lot of fluoride in tea that is not organic. And we all know fluoride is a no-no. So, when you first start, you're going to need apple cider vinegar, raw, organic, unfiltered. After you first do your first batch, you won't ever need any more apple cider vinegar. You're also going to need a 1-gallon jug that's glass, no plastic. I think it can be metal too, is fine. But you want it to be a glass, preferably, and it depends how much tea you like. You get tea every 7 to 10 days. I like to actually make 4 batches at one time, which is what we're going to do, because I like to drink a lot of kombucha. It keeps me hopped up like I'm on crack. So this is what you need, at least 1 of these, but I recommend probably 2. You also need cheesecloth or a towel, you know, like a little towel with a rubber band so that no critters can get in there and lay eggs in your kombucha and start their own world in there, because it's not going to be nice. I can tell you that right now. So I think that's about all you need. And water, of course. If you live in a city with the nasty water where they put all this stuff in there, you're going to want to get purified water. Or if you live somewhere where you have nice, clean well water, you can use well water. So, now we're going to make the kombucha, or at least walk you through it. It's pretty simple. All you're going to need is a pot with the filtered water, which is 3 quarts. So you take a pot, like a big pot. There's 4 batches of kombucha here. And I already put the tea and everything in here, so I'm going to walk you through it. So you take a pot, and you put 3 quarts of purified water or well water into the pot. You bring that to a boil. Once the water is at a boil, turn off the burners, pour in 1 cup of your organic cane sugar, okay? 1 cup. So 1 cup in each one if you're doing multiple batches, or if you're doing just 1 batch, 1 cup. Stir that up, dissolve that sugar. Then once that sugar is dissolved, you're going to want to add 4 black tea bags. Now, like I told you, I use green and black. So I put 2 green tea bags and 3 black tea bags to give it a mix, so my kombucha mushroom, you know, is sexy. So you throw the tea bags in after the sugar, and let those steep until it cools down to room temperature. So you can't have it too hot when you put your kombucha mushroom in there, or it will be painful for him, most likely. Could kill him or whatnot. So you put the sugar in here, you put the tea bags in here, and you let it cool down to room temperature. Also, I almost forgot, you will need a kombucha mushroom. Now, if you don't have a kombucha mushroom, all you need to do is go on the internet and look for kombucha mushrooms for sale. You can get them for like 10, 15, 20 bucks, and you get yourself one. Now, if you have a friend that does kombucha, you can just ask them for a kombucha mushroom, because the kombucha grows a new mushroom every 7 to 10 days. So when you start with one kombucha mushroom, in 7 days you're going to have 2. And then if you do 2 batches, in 7 days you're going to have 4 kombucha mushrooms. So I just either throw them away when I'm done, or I give them to new people. So either order one online or bug your friend for a mushroom. So once the tea is cooled down to room temperature, that's when the fun starts. All right, our tea has cooled down to room temperature. Takes a few hours. It's nice and cool. You don't want it cold. You want it room temperature, obviously, you know, warmish. So I already poured it in these 3. I'm just going to go ahead and pour this in the 4th one real quick. Maybe add a little more here. All right, and this is the tea and sugar solution that the SCOBY eats and grows from. So you put your tea into either 1, or if you're doing multiple 1s, 2, 3, 4 jars, okay? Each mushroom gets its own jar. Now this is important. If you're first making this is your first batch, you need to add 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar raw unfiltered, because the acid helps start the process. So if you have already done it and this is your second batch, you add 1/2 cup of your old kombucha, which, not old, but the stuff you just made. So this is the kombucha we just made. So I'm going to pull in a 1/2 cup from each one to pour into there to get the acid process started. Give it just a little extra love, just in case. Okay. So like I said, if you don't have the kombucha and this is your first time, 1/4 cup apple cider vinegar, raw, unfiltered, organic, into each jar. And if you do have kombucha, the stuff that you just made, pour 1/2 cup into each one before you flavor anything. Just the plain old kombucha, okay? So once you got all that, you grab your beautiful mushrooms, and you can rinse these off if you want, because there is some nasty stuff on them. But if you don't, it's cool, it's whatever. So just kind of lay them in there. They will float to the top after a day or 2 if they sink, so it's okay. If they sink to the bottom, it's not a big deal, don't worry about it. They're fun to play with. Freak out your wife or your kids, you know. Slap them in the face with it when they're not paying attention. Just whatever. I would never do that stuff, but... Okay, so you got your mushrooms in there. Now, you want to seal them. So this is cheesecloth. You can use this, or you can get just a towel, like a hand towel, washcloth. It's just to keep out any critters, dust, any of that stuff, and to prevent any critters from getting in there. And it has to release air. So if you put a lid on it, it will build up so much carbonation that will explode the jar. And this, I know people this has happened to. So do not put a lid on there that cannot get air. So it's a 2 thing. 1, it gives it air so it can breathe, oxygen can come in, the bubbles can leave, that way nothing explodes. And 2, you don't have little bugs coming in here starting a colony of death and destruction in your kombucha, because we don't want that either. So bam, just place those on there so they're nice and snug, so nothing can get in there. And then you want these to be warm. Kombucha needs to be warm to ferment properly. So what you want to do is set them somewhere high, either waist height or up in a cabinet, you know, where it's warm. 65, 75 degrees is like the prime temperature. So you want to place those up there, and they want to be dark. So I always place a towel over them, so that no light gets into them, and they can still breathe and everything like that. And I place them about head height in the room, and I put towels over them to keep them dark, that they just like the darkness. So remember, they need to be warm, they need to be dark, and then leave them for 7 to 10 days. Now, if you want it to be more of a sweet, mellow taste, take it out after 7 days and start the whole process again. Now, if you want it to be a little stronger, leave it 10 days. It'll have even a little bit of an acid taste, almost like apple cider vinegar, but not that strong. It'll be much stronger, bolder taste. So really what you want to do is just sample. Take it out of 7 days, taste it, see what you think. Take it out of 8 days next time, see what you think. Take it out of 9, 10, etc. And find out which day you like the best. All right, guys, the tea is done. We now have our kombucha deliciously made. Are you excited? I know I am. So check it out. This is what the kombucha looks like when it's made and it's finished. You notice when we first put the tea in there, it was like really dark, like black tea obviously. Now it's a lighter color. There's actually 2 mushrooms because it's generated another mushroom. And you just got to remember that basically the mushroom eats all the tea and the sugar. That's why it changed colors. So now you want to have a bowl to put your SCOBY in, your mushroom, and it's very important that you have a really nice bowl that has a nice sound to it, or the mushrooms will get pissed. I'm just kidding. But you want to have an aluminum bowl or a metal bowl or a glass bowl. You don't want a plastic. So bowl to put the mushroom in. We're going to pull the mushrooms out, put them in there, and then you need to have something to put your kombucha tea in. Now, if you want to be a real gangster, you want to get these little beer bottles that you can get that have the clamp and everything, so they blow up a lot of carbonation if you like it really carbonated. Now, if you don't have that stuff, you can use little jars like this. You know, different size jars that seal, because you don't want to put it all in one big container, because as soon as the container gets open, it starts losing carbonation, and then it starts to kind of almost feel stale after like 3, 4, 5 days. So I like to put mine in individual containers or beer bottles with the clamp, and then it'll build up carbonation, it'll stay fresh and delicious. Now you can also put some in a big thing like this, which is just a huge thing with a little thing. It's really nice and easy and convenient to get it out of the fridge. But I don't like to fill this thing all the way up because, like I said, if it's open, the carbonation comes out and you lose a lot of the carbonation and it starts to go kind of stale after 4 or 5 days. So anyways, you just take off one of these cheesecloths. And this is where it gets fun. Some of you might be like, ooh, it's nasty. It's alright, it's alright. Put some gloves on if you're scared. You just basically, you wake them up first, because they'll bite you. If they don't know you're coming, I'm just kidding. Basically, grab the mushroom. Feels kind of weird. I let it drip a little bit, and then I just set it in there. And these things are really weird. They got some brown poop on them sometimes. Don't worry, it's all healthy for you. So basically, sometimes they get stuck together, but it basically builds another mushroom, and you just got to separate them so that you can... oh, wow, that one just farted on me. You got to separate it so that you can put this mushroom in your new one and either get rid of this one or give it away. And I mean, this is just from 8, 9 days. I mean, these mushrooms grow really fast. So you put that in there. And I also like to have a strainer because there's a lot of boogers. The probiotic culture that grows gets kind of nasty sometimes, and like the brown stuff. So I always like to have a strainer. Basically, take this and you pour it in there, but you want to have it tilted on its side really nice and pour it like this. Do you see this? Really nice on its side. Because if you pour it straight up, it splashes and you lose all the carbonation. So you want to pour it really slow and have a nice stream to where it doesn't lose all of its carbonation. So I'm going to pour this into there, and then I'll be back with you in just a minute. Alright, we put it in the jars, as you can see here. Now, we put a good amount in this one. I don't like to fill this one up more than about halfway because it starts losing a lot of carbonation. And then we put some in these jars, which will seal up, and this will keep the carbonation. It'll actually build up a little bit more carbonation. Now, you can drink it just as it is, and it's pretty good. But if you want to add flavor, you can add anything you want flavor-wise. You can add different juices to it. I like to add fruit, like fresh organic fruit. I'll put frozen raspberries in there, mango, and you basically put it in here, and then leave it out on the, on the counter in a warm area. Put the fruit in there. Let it sit for one day, 2 days, 3 days. So 1 to 3 days, let the fruit sit in there and really absorb that flavor. Then take the fruit out, seal them up, throw them in the fridge. Now, if you don't want to put any fruit in, that's fine either. But after you put these lids on and seal them, let this sit out for 1 to 3 days. I usually let it sit out for 1 to 2 days because it'll build up carbonation. And you got to be really careful what jars you use. If you're not using really strong jars, they'll explode from the carbonation. So I recommend beer bottle jars, with the actual old-fashioned clamp. In these, I put in some raspberry and mango puree that I made, and I strained it out so it's just the juice. And I also put some chia seeds in here. I haven't done it before, but I figured let's give it a try. So really, you can play around, experiment with it, and just have fun. You can really do anything you want. So let it sit out for 1 to 3 days, throw it in the fridge, and that's where it stays. Hey, that rhymed. Anyways, and then you're good to go. And the thing is, as soon as you open one of these, it starts losing the carbonation. So if you put it in a big jug like this, drink this first, save these in the fridge, and then after you're done with that, open up one and then drink that whole one before you move to the next, because they will lose carbonation. All right, enjoy your kombucha. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, please like it, comment, share. If you know anybody that could benefit from the health benefits from kombucha, which is everybody, please share this video with anyone you know, the loved ones, your friends, family that could benefit from kombucha. And put a comment below. Let me know if you made it, how you liked it, what did it taste like, if you have any questions on how to make it, or if there was something you wasn't clear on. Just put a comment below, let me know, and I'll answer your questions for you. I really appreciate you watching this video. I hope you do make and drink kombucha, because you'll be surprised at how good you feel, the energy and the clarity you get, and the health benefits that you probably don't even understand. But it's just going on inside of you with, you know, anti-cancer stuff, you know, your digestive system, all that stuff. So anyways, like, comment, and share. This is a health tip with success from Shania, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.